Hello? Hello? Hey, Steve. Good.
Hello, Brian. I'm just checking my
Yeah,
audio.
that would be fine. I'll be at the store in Masontown tomorrow all day. I get there at 9. I'm there all day with the exception of lunch. So, okay. All right. Yep. Hey guys, sorry about that. I was on a phone call when I was starting the meeting.
Sure,
That's
you-
okay, Brian. I was just checking my audio, so we're okay.
Okay. All right.
Well,
Good evening.
hey, Jim.
Hey, Jim.
Howdy.
So Dennis, good eye in seeing the online article from the Trib on the,
Yeah, thanks. Actually pretty well written.
yeah. That, I don't know if that'll run in tomorrow's newspaper or not, but it's
Yeah.
nice that they're getting some publicity for it.
What's your capacity?
She didn't really tell me. I don't know. Although we did have discussions that if we would exceed their indoor capacity, that we would just hold everything outdoors.
Yeah.
So right now, a portion of it's going to be indoors and a portion outdoors.
The last workshop we did up there, we had a grand total of I think 4 people. And that one I don't think there was a charge for, so it'd be
Yeah.
interesting to see what happens with this one.
Jim, are you going to reach out to other local camera clubs? Like Somerset and,
Hadn't planned to, Dennis, to be honest with you. It was kind of, I mean, it's Hannahstein's kind of running the PR for
yeah,
it.
okay, okay. Fair enough.
Melissa, I don't think we've seen you at a Zoom meeting for a while. At least I haven't anyway. Maybe we've just missed each other.
Yeah, it feels like it's been forever between everything scheduled and the puppy classes and trying to keep up with everything. It's been pretty hard to get.
Yeah.
I have it planned out, and then when they get postponed from one week to the next week, I miss them.
So when does your dog graduate from high school then?
Sure. She did her first puppy training classes, which was just the basics. We just did 6 weeks of like agility stuff just to teach her how to do it. And now we're starting tomorrow night. She's starting her next group of classes where she'll go through her next phase of just training. And then we're going to go through another 4 weeks of classes so that she can get her canine citizens test.
So what does that mean, if I may ask?
That means she's a really good puppy.
Okay.
At least because she's a German Shepherd, a lot of people fear them when they see them or just hear the name.
Yeah.
So she is a really good dog. She loves everybody and everything, and I want to make sure she gets the testing that basically it just proves she's not going to attack another animal or a human
Gotcha.
by going through that. And to have that in her quarter will help when you can tell people she's passed.
Okay, thanks.
There are some places where your insurance company won't let you have dogs if they're over a certain size unless they've passed that test.
Yeah.
And this wouldn't affect you, but if you ever want to live on base, on a military base, all your dogs have to have passed that.
And we planned on doing it with Arrow. It's just COVID. Now he's a year old because COVID hit and really screwed that all up. But eventually we're going to get him there too.
Yeah, I was gonna say you can do it as they're older, and it's a
Yeah.
stepping stone if you ever wanted to do like therapy dog or service dog with them.
Yeah.
Our standard food through all that.
It's just easier when they're younger to keep up with the training to get
Um,
there.
No, I know. He's crazy one. I know. COVID. I love it.
If somebody has a TV on.
It's probably my son's. I'm mute.
John, did you see in Reddit that I posted a link to the talk on the early life of Ansel Adams?
No, I had sent out a link.
Maybe it's the same thing. This is at West Virginia University.
Oh, yours is West Virginia University.
Well, it's a Zoom. It's given by a curator at the University of Arizona, Becky Senth. And I
Yeah,
heard
that's
well,
that's
maybe
the
it's
same.
thing.
Yeah, it's the same. It's probably the same presentation that she's going to give on September 23rd, and that's the
Yeah.
link that I had sent you guys about.
Yeah. Well, I heard a previous version, and it was worth listening to.
Was it?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I registered for the one on September 23rd, so we'll see how things go.
Melissa, was that your flyer you were flashing at us?
You're muted.
Oop.
Melissa, you're muted.
Yeah, the canvas people were doing free 16 by 20 canvases. All you had to do was pay for shipping.
Ooh.
And that was the 16 by 20 that I had printed. And then I paid, I think it was $20 for the frame that went around it.
Did you get it? Did you get it back?
Yeah, I just had it up on the screen. Did you see it?
No.
Oh, hold on a second.
Flash us again with it.
Oh, that came out pretty.
That looks good.
What did you say?
I said, that came out nice.
It looks good.
Yeah, and I was really happy with the frame. I don't know if I can put it up here. It's still in a plastic wrap. I didn't take it out. But it's the frame, it's hard to see. It's
It
just
says
a,
the float frame.
yeah, it's just a float.
Mm.
So it's inset a little bit on the frame. But for $20, I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't beat that.
yeah. I don't know if they're still doing the free 16 by 20s, but I think the shipping might have been $20. But really, a 16 by 20 frame is normally,
More than that.
it was
Yeah.
$120, I think.
Who did the prints again?
Arrow Stop.
The canvas.
Canvas people.
Hey, Melissa, this is neither here nor there, and it might just be the lighting in your room, but I wonder if the camera lens is smudged. It almost looks like you're in a smoky environment.
I'm hanging out in the smoke bar. You weren't supposed to know that.
I think it must be lighting.
It might be the lighting. I
Yeah.
have a crappy little
Yeah.
lamp here.
Well, at least you don't have green hair because you're in fluorescent lighting.
Well, you know what? It's much clearer now.
Yeah, it is.
What are you trying to say? What are you trying to say, Beth?
Might have been a little bit of both.
I thought maybe you were in the pool a little bit too long.
No. No. I'm waiting for these lights to blow out so that I can replace them with something. And no matter how much I leave them on, they're all still working. Which is not
Just because-
making me happy.
Just because you want them to burn out, they aren't going to.
Exactly. The one on the stairs that's a royal pain to change, that one's out, of course. Not these, no.
It'll go out as soon as you need it.
Yeah. Probably. When I'm in the middle of cutting a mat.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, look, there's Brian.
Yeah, I was working on some other stuff and my computer had did an update and I had to reset some stuff for myself. And we may have to reset some stuff for you guys too as well. So we'll see what happens as we go along. So how's everybody doing tonight?
Good.
I'm okay.
Pretty good.
I've been listening. So I've got some good news from
What's that?
Russ. He
How's he doing?
He tested negative for COVID-19.
Good.
Okay.
And he should be on here a little bit later. He had another meeting that he was going to be on, and then he was going to pop on here afterwards. So we should see him in about, I think he said around 8 o'clock this evening. So, but yeah, he's got his test results back from Excella, and he did test negative. So that was good. So I don't know what the other issue was. Well, maybe he'll enlighten us a little bit more whenever he pops onto the meeting. But it was good to hear that that came back as a negative.
No, that's good. No, Margie's sick, so.
Yes, and we called Margie yesterday, and she was sick. I don't know if you talked to her today or not, Annie, but
No, I didn't even try because, you know, when she's sick, she won't answer the phone. So,
yeah. So
and the way she sounded last night when we tried to talk to her for a couple minutes, she wasn't doing good.
no,
Is she COVID sick or just sick?
I don't know. She didn't talk to us for more than 30 seconds. She said she wasn't feeling well and she wasn't going to stay on the phone.
Yeah.
So that was about all that we said to her was hi and pretty much bye and, you know, get better. So We didn't get any information from her other than she wasn't feeling well. So I hope she's not got it. I don't know what's going on with her. I'll give her a day or so. She feels better, she'll call me.
Yeah. Okay. So, I guess the scavenger hunt has come to a conclusion. That's a good word? That's the right word.
Yep.
Today was 7 o'clock was the deadline because this meeting was the deadline. So.
I didn't get anything else on.
What's that?
I said I didn't get a chance to get anything else on. Oh well.
I have some on a file on my desktop that I didn't take time to upload. So, I don't know if that's worse than not doing it at all or what, but anyhow. So I thought we would take some part of the meeting this evening and take a look at those. I don't think I have much in the way of new and old business, other than I did want to look for something. Let me see if I can find it. Actually, Jim, would you be willing to show some of the pictures from the scavenger hunt?
Oh, I guess I can, yeah.
If you could, and then there's a couple things that I needed to look up and I forgot to look up, so I'll do that while you're.
Okay, give me a minute here.
Go ahead, take your time, and if I have to fix this, may be where I have to fix something so you can share the screen. I'm not sure.
WPS scavenger hunt. Okay, now where's my Zoom?
Tom's been trying to join us. This is his third shot at getting connected here. I'm not sure what's going on, but he keeps trying.
Somehow my my Zoom screen is turned into a little block, and all I don't see any personally. I just see a black box in Annie. Why won't, hold on. Oh, there we go. I was minimized. Okay.
I don't have my video on right now.
Share screen. Okay, do you see my Reddit screen?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So Brian, do you have anything in mind on what you wanted to do here, or just scroll down through and ask people to comment?
If you go over to the right of the screen where it says search by category.
Well, I've got the category up.
Okay, so you've done a search by just that category?
Yes.
So I would just kind of scroll through it, maybe click on them and get them to the little bigger size.
Okay.
And we'll just take a look at some of them, and then at the next meeting we'll take a look at some more. We'll kind of make a note. I'll make a note of where we left off.
Okay.
And we'll kind of keep going down through until we eventually get to take a look at all of them.
Okay.
Does
So
that
this
sound
first
good?
one, this looks chilling, Candace. Tell us how you set this one up.
How I set it up? Well, the granddaughters were here and we were having water balloon battles, and my husband dumped a bucket of water on them, and I just happened to catch that water falling down on them.
Now, be honest, how many takes did you have to do?
Oh, I don't know. I just snapped away.
That's pretty good timing on that one.
Mm-hmm.
And actually there was a car in the background. I took it out and then I blurred the whole background just so you didn't look at any of the other stuff that was back there.
The blurring kind of looks like the lens got wet. So it works really well for me.
Oh yeah. It was just, I just didn't want, I'd rather be focused on that center part, you know, that cone of water. I was amazed when I looked through pictures and saw that particular shot.
Hey, by the way, since we happen to have Candace's photo on that, formally she's Candace, but friendly she's Candy. So I just wanted to mention that although Candy didn't have it posted in this month's newsletter, she also had a photo at the Mr. Rogers juried exhibition at Latrobe Arts Center. And it was really nice. It was a close-up of a cat, and what was was it Soul of a Cat?
Yeah.
If you go online to the Latrobe Arts Center, they have a virtual gallery there, if you want to take a look at it.
I'll put it in next month.
Oh, I guess I gotta close that one. Okay, since there's, what we'll start through, we'll just go through, I guess one at a time here, one person at a time. Suzanne, what is this?
You probably don't really want to know. It's just, I got desperate there for my very last photo. It's an orchid. And last night I put my orchid in the bathtub and I put a black garbage bag behind it, and I just turned the shower on, and I put my nifty 50 on, and did a little bit of a long exposure, you know, in the dark. I just had, I dragged my husband into it again and had him shine a light on it. So it's not really very good, but you know, I should have tried to do it, you know, multiple times, but I was kind of tired. So that's what I ended up with.
For the original, I was trying to figure out what this was, but it's just the back of the petal, I guess, is yellow.
Yeah, petal, and there's a stem there.
I thought it was something, if you will, just sitting on top.
Yeah, no, I think that's just a stem, and it's probably just broken off a little bit.
All right.
So that's just an experiment.
You did a lot of work for that one.
Yeah. Well, actually, it only took probably 10 minutes.
So Carolyn's not, by the way, this CCH Creations is Carolyn Holland. She's not here, so I think what we'll do is we'll stick to ones that
Yeah.
we're in the meeting with.
Oh, they come out.
All right.
Your sister wanted there, Jack.
Okay.
Suzanne, I'd say only because this one's kind of unique too. Walk us through this one.
That's cool.
Well, I did a long exposure. And that's my son sitting in a chair in the dark. You know, I focused, pre-focused, and I had my husband, again, I dragged him into it. He was standing behind Jacob and twirling a lighted headlamp. And with the original shot, you could still see my husband in it, but I just brought the exposure down a little bit in Lightroom and ended up with that. Cropped it somewhat too. So yeah, I like that one too. I thought.
I think it looks cool. Like it.
Yeah, it's definitely better than the water falling. I'll have to work on that one. I wanted to go to Ohio Pal and get a nice waterfall, and I never made it there. So I ended up with orchids in a bathtub.
All right, good work.
It's clever.
We give you an E for effort.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We got a bunch of them here in a row. Let's see if we got anybody different here. Carolyn did a whole bunch here recently.
I like that one.
There's,
I like the squirrel.
Carolyn was busy, busy, busy. Clever, Suzanne. Like the sun.
Thank you. I like the clouds in the background and the lens flare I got for added drama there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Looks like he's in the background, huh?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. This is Alan's, right?
Yeah.
You want to talk about this one?
That's just a Z from Z&M Harley Davidson.
Ah, okay. All righty, cool. Oh, that's the old shoes over the power line. Okay. That looks like a legitimate one, unlike mine where I staged it. There's another Z. Okay, Alan, what's this all about?
One time I was walking the trails up Forbes State Forest and happened to see that. I can't remember the name of the trail that it's on, but went back and took a picture of it.
Oh my, I thought you just staged this in your backyard.
No, that's been up there for 2 or 3 years.
Oh, that's funny, and you remembered it. Candace, we're back to you here.
Well, there's this great big ancient weeping willow up at Mount Odin near the golf course, and my original weeping willow was just in someone's yard. This one's just massive.
Is that trunk as big as it looks?
Yes, and that light spot in the middle of the trunk is actually a hole right through the trunk. And it's going to fall over soon. I'm pretty
That
sure.
is there, you're saying?
Up
Or
a little
this?
further.
Right
Right
there.
there. Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
It's a hole in the trunk, goes the whole way through.
Did you say Mount Odin?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is it like adjacent to any of the golf holes by any chance?
No, it's up. There's a pavilion up on the hill, not
Yeah.
far from the club house, and it's
Okay.
up there by that parking lot.
You know, it's funny, when I saw this online before, I was paying more attention, I guess, to the branches than the trunk itself. That's amazing.
That thing's huge.
Yeah, it
I didn't
deserved a
even-
picture.
I didn't even remember that was up there.
And actually, the whole tree, there's a top part that sticks way up. It doesn't even look like it's part of the same tree. So I don't know how long that tree will be there. I think it's destined to be cut.
Alan got 2 for the price of 1 on this one.
That's out of Keystone.
Okay.
I had to wait for a long time for just that bottom flag to come out like that.
Well, I know the day that I was doing my flag photos, that took me forever because it wasn't a very breezy day, but every once in a while a gust would come. I don't know how long it took me before I get the flag opened up. Any story behind this one?
Not really. I was stealing peppers out of my neighbor's garden and happened to see it. Went back and took a picture of it.
Oh, I hope the peppers were good.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my.
Better destroy the evidence afterwards.
Okay, Michael, this is your
That
first. We'll blow this one up here.
Yeah.
So how long did you wait for the bird to fly by? Or did you put that on there?
Actually, I put it on there.
Did you?
Yeah, I remember when we were there a few years ago that somebody mentioned something about a falcon living up there around the.
Oh, yeah.
That they had a peregrine falcon that nested on the Cathedral of Learning, and they actually had a camera up there, and it had I think 2 babies at the time that they had a camera up there on it. So yeah, it wouldn't be too surprising to see one flying around there.
So Michael, I'm curious. So you put the bird on. I am curious. Is that the real sky, or did you superimpose a sky on that?
I imposed it from. I have Luminar 4, and I decided to use that to impose the sky.
Yeah, that's really dramatic looking.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to, Michael, maybe just take a brief moment to explain how easy it is.
Well, what it is once you load the image onto the program, there's like 4 or 5 icons off to the right. The second one down will say, I forget the exact name. It does the
sky replacement.
Sky replacement. Also with it, it also has underneath it, what do they call it? Complementary added features for the skies, like in this case, a bird. And you can choose from a list from there too, a bird or a rainbow or whatever else you want to put into the picture as a background image.
So Michael, is this your sky image?
I'm sorry, what's that?
Did you take this sky image?
I'm not sure I understand what you mean.
Is it your sky or is it Luminar?
No. I'm trying to remember.
Because you can do both or either.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to remember. I think that was I think it was my sky. I remember it was actually a picture I had taken. Had been almost 30 years ago when I was at the Falling Waters. I was passing this old barn, and I happened to notice that the skies was had these clouds and stuff. So I took the picture of the barn with a lot of the sky behind it. So what I did was just sort of like crop out or got rid of the barn. I used that as the sky.
Okay. Thanks, Michael.
Ooh.
Screen, Carolyn. Okay, Alan, you posted, really curious, where was this photo taken?
That's a Kentucky knob.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
I knew that when I saw Rex's because I remember taking the same photo years ago.
Interesting.
There's actually 2 more. There's a green one that's a little bit smaller, and then a single red one like these.
Mm-hmm.
So is this part of like some type of outdoor art display or?
I don't know. You're asking the wrong person that. I just drove up, never even got out of the car.
Yeah.
Well,
yes, it is. They have all kinds of things on the grounds up at Kentucky Knob. They have all kinds of different statues and things all on the ground, on the outside, on the grounds.
Okay, because these obviously don't go with the theme of Kentucky Knob itself.
So you're telling me this was a drive-by shooting?
Oh.
Yeah.
Of a telephone booth. Um, those are part of an art installation that is below Kentuck Knob. So when you go into Kentuck Knob, you'll walk through a field that has this stuff in it first before you go up to the building itself, the Kentuck Knob building. But these are there, and there's all kind of other weird and strange art things there that actually makes for some pretty interesting photographs.
Brian, you know what?
And
If there's actually a whole field of these things, it sounds like this would be a potential photo walk for us at some point.
it would be. And we've been up there. We were up there several years ago and we did a photo shoot and a exhibit for them.
Oh,
It was like 10 years ago, by the way.
Yeah. Was it 10 years ago? Everything's a couple years to me.
Nate was tiny. Like I was carrying him in that like wraparound carrier thing while wearing heels. That's why I remember distinctly.
There's some interesting art stuff there. The building itself is pretty neat, and I think you can, as with Falling Waters, you can do if you pay to get in, you can pay to get into the property, look around the property, or you can pay to get inside the building as well, inside the home. So it's a little cheaper if you just do the property, but it was pretty interesting when we was up there all those years ago, and it's neat to see that they're still there. So anyhow, I just wanted to point that out while you guys had that one up.
I'm glad you did that one, Alan. Okay, Latrobe Banana Split.
I was on a banner on the side of a truck out along 30.
Because I know they canceled the festival itself. I think they had a virtual festival this year. Anything about this one you want to tell us, Michael?
Well, what was it? Well, last year I noticed that while I was at Bushy Run at their main building, that I noticed that there was a lot of flowers and they had a bunch of bugs and stuff. So this year I went up and I took a chance thinking maybe I might be allowed on the property. I basically snuck onto the property for an hour, knowing this was going to be close to the center building, and I just took a shot of it and just hiked back out of the property before somebody got upset with me, since we're still dealing with the COVID virus stuff.
Well, the bee is really sharp. That's nice.
Yeah, usually whenever I do something like this, I always end up getting at least half the insect blurred out from depth of field. Yeah, I just got lucky.
Yeah, that's a nice shot. I've not heard of this one, Michael. Where's that located?
It's right off of Old William Penn. It's right on the edge of Export and Murraysville. If you there's a I can't quite remember the name of the place. Is it Riverfront Beer Company or whatever it is? It's a microbrewery. If you turn right at that intersection, you're about maybe no more than a mile down the street. I just happened to remember seeing an article about it. They do an annual type event for the place, and it's like, I really don't remember much about it offhand, but I just went up there to see what it was like.
All right, cool.
You allowed to take a tour of the place, or is it private
Well,
property, or what?
it's basically for the most part, you can take an exterior tour around by yourself if you want to. The day I went, there was nobody there, so I just took an exterior of the building since nobody else was there at the time.
It says here that it's a museum.
Yeah, I never got the chance to actually go in there and see what it was like.
All right. Rex, did you get on the call yet?
No, he's not on yet.
All right.
No, he's not on yet.
Okay. Marty.
Well, we had this tomato and it had like a little nib in it, looked like a nose. And Gracie had a bunch of those googly eyes, so we just put it on. I was being goofy.
You certainly were. It's cute though.
I just thought it was cute. He had a little pointy nose. You can't really see it there too well. But
Wait, in here you're saying?
yeah, right there. Up.
There.
See, like go. Now go to diagonally up. You can't. You can barely see it, but it protrudes out like a little nose.
Yes.
Yes, right there.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Special tomato. Good job. Hey, Marty, you get extra credit for that one.
Oh, thanks, Jim.
At the picnic on Saturday, Marty was going above and beyond the call of duty for our scavenger hunt at the picnic itself. So we were giving her extra credit. Okay, I know there's a lot of dog lovers here, so we're gonna have to look at this one, Suzanne.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty typical at my house, so it wasn't a difficult photo to take.
Did you have to pose his ears?
Pardon?
Did you have to pose the ears?
No, that just was the way she was. So I hurried up and grabbed the camera and took it. And that's about it.
That's nice.
I like the expression on her face.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my pit bull.
I've seen a lot of videos on YouTube about pit bulls. Oh my God, they're all like big babies.
Yeah.
Just tell us where this one's from.
Oakland. I can't remember the street though, but I felt like I hit the lottery when I saw it.
I don't know about others who got the payphone, but I ran into mine in Greensburg almost entirely by accident. I didn't know where it was ahead of time and just happened to glance in a gas station parking lot and saw it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't really think about gas stations, but that's where I always used to find one when I needed one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's skip that one. Flag. I'm going to skip through some of these till we get to some other people who we haven't seen yet. Well, Alan, that's just because that's a really nice sky. Tell us about this one.
I was sitting here watching TV one day and saw the sky was all pink, so I grabbed my camera and went outside, and that's my backyard.
That's ominous looking. know where that barn is. That's on Route 30 near Ligonier. And that was clever, by the way, this photo.
Mm-hmm.
Category is opposites.
East and west.
Yeah, that just, I was driving down the road one day and it just slapped me in the face.
Yeah, that's a clever one.
Mhm.
You get extra credit for that one, Alan.
Oh, thanks. Can I get another rub off ticket?
Okay. I'll go through just a couple of these. I hope I don't upset anybody here in the call, because this was a funny bumper sticker, and some of you might not think it's funny, but personally I did. That's me, you don't want to see that. So this one I staged outside the front of my house. I had Pat with a stick and the tennis shoes hanging on a string, and just had her position it, and I got down and laid down on the grass on my back and had her move the shoes to where it looked like they were hanging from the local line going up to our house.
That's cheating.
And I tell you what, if you look, I didn't do the best job of hanging the laces there, but I didn't want to waste a whole lot of time on it either, because as you know, I took all of my shots on one day with a single 35mm prime lens in all JPEG black and white files. So I didn't want to spend a whole lot of time post-processing. So that's my terrible attempt of showing shoes hanging on a line.
Well, you get extra credit for doing it all in one day.
Yeah.
We'll give you extra credit for imagination.
Yeah, that's in our kitchen.
Mrs. Murphy, wait a minute. Go back. Mrs. Murphy's poultry?
Yeah, someone got that for us as a gift. I don't know if Pat likes that being her, but it's Pat if she had a can around her waist. How's that? Purple crayons. There's the courthouse. There's a Z.
Those crayons weren't purple. They were black and white.
They're purple. Well, no, I have proof that they were purple. I'm sorry. Hold on. Violet. They plum. They are all the purple family.
Yeah, okay. There's words on
That's
there.
just photoshopped on there.
There's boots. There's a bicycle set. Okay. Anyway, that's mine. Won't bore you with the other ones. This is a night. Those of you who were at Twin Lakes, this was one of the places for the scavenger hunt. And I got there fairly early in the morning because I wanted, actually I got one of my sunrise photos there as well. But I just love the way the early morning light was hitting the tree trunks. It just really, it's a nice shot regardless, but that particular morning, the lighting was just perfect for it. Michael DQ, Michael something orange. Though most people think of tomatoes as red, but that is an orange tomato.
Yeah, there's a few different breeds of tomatoes that are like that.
Yeah. Dunkin' Donuts, ice machine.
There's also a payphone right by it.
I'm gonna open this one up here.
Right beside your ice machine, huh?
Yeah.
So where's this one?
It's in Murraysville. If you go on 22, where Sheets is at, you turn down that road and you go about maybe a mile and a half, and it's going to be on your right-hand side of the road. And the way it's sold on land, if you're not careful, you can actually miss it. So if you go the speed limit and not faster than that, you'll see it on the right-hand side.
Huh.
Yeah,
Is that on the road that heads back towards Harrison City?
Yeah, I guess that's going towards Harrison City. I didn't go all the way. It's about mile and a half, maybe 2 at the most.
You know what's interesting about this one, Michael, and it's not like I'm a male pouch barn expert by any means, but that one looks different than most of the ones that you'll see along the road.
Yeah, that's a different style barn that most of them are on. By sheer chance, I saw a website that says roadside attractions, and they had a listing of male pouch barns in all the different states. I just happened to click on it, and they said there was one right around close to the Murraysville, Harrison City area.
Yeah, nice find.
Cool.
Carolyn chickens.
Holy
So
chicken
I kind of like
littles.
that one. I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
I said holy chickens.
Oh. Someone relaxing. Well, it looks like an arm relaxing. That's a neat viewpoint. Payphone. These are all Carolyn's. Unusual perspective. Oh, I forgot about this one. Yeah, the end of the light's going into the statue here.
Yep. That's
clever.
Mount Pleasant.
Oh, is it?
That's the Doughboy.
Oh, okay. Flag, flag, diamond, squash. That's kind of cool looking.
I forget where that's at.
Well,
think it's
Norville
on
didn't have their UFO
31.
festival this year, so it should have been Norville.
Yeah,
not-
it could have been.
Not
Well, there's
Norville, I'm
a-
sorry.
On
Is
Route
that up on 31?
Mount Pleasant, there's somebody that sells golf carts.
Yeah, yeah.
They've
Oh,
got
okay, yeah.
UFO stuff.
Yeah, that's it. I knew it looked familiar. I was just trying to remember where it was. Yeah, it's on 31.
This is a
Kitty
good one. That took some good timing to get that one. Angle. Where's this one, Alan?
That's the Gleasner covered bridge.
Which, I'm sorry?
Gleasner.
Okay.
It's right by, it's in between the Flight 93 Memorial and Q Creek Mine.
Okay,
Okay, yeah.
nice. Carolyn Kitty Cat, Carolyn Cornfield. That's some sky lit up there. Carolyn's got a bunch of them. I think she's got multiples of the same subject matter, to be honest.
It could be.
I love that one.
This is, yeah, this
Yep.
is nice. Yep. Okay, Suzanne, walk us through this one.
Well, we've critiqued this before.
Oh, we did. I forgot. Yes. Well,
Yeah.
for those who weren't on that call, go through it quickly.
Well, even since I reposted this one, but I changed it again in that corner. I still didn't like that right corner a whole
Look here.
lot. So I have another version of it, but it was at sunset, and I just shot right into the sun and wasn't sure what I was going to get. I knew those people were there. I was hoping to get somewhat of a shadow from them, and I did, so I was happy with that. I did, like I was talking about on Saturday, end up with some noise in it, but I still, thought even with the noise, it was okay. That's about all. I don't think I think that was my 35. I have an old Minolta 35 prime lens. I think that's what I use.
It's very nice.
And thank you.
That's another nice one. We think we talked about this one once before too.
Yeah, dragged Jacob into that one too.
Oh, poor soul.
It's just really nice lighting.
Thank you. Nothing special. He was inside the car holding that. And I was outside of the car and I just, took the shot that way. We were at Dairy Queen.
Hey, by the way, you're gonna have to excuse me. I want to go back. I do need to show you one of my photos because it's very apropos for tonight. Well, bear with me because I'm not sure which grouping it's in. No, not that one. Shoot, hold on. There we go. We're all missing the flight of the migrating birds tonight. So there it is for you, folks.
Yeah.
There's not enough birds.
Well, I told Pat today, I've thought about this one. I could go ahead and just clone a whole bunch more in there. Those are red-winged blackbirds. And the only reason I know that is because they were down in the cattails along the lower Twin Lakes.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, something stirred them and just that whole flock of them took off at once. Anyway, I thought that was appropriate for tonight. Let me go back down to where we were. Hey, Brian, how much longer do you want me to do this?
I think everything else is we've already went through before.
I think you're right there, Marty. There might be a few down at the far end that we missed.
Yeah.
Okay, if
We
I
didn't
got,
start at the way bottom.
oh, you want to start all the way down?
Yeah, if you go all the way to the bottom.
Oh, wait, it's my, hold on, I'm scrolling back up. Let me see. Well, there's a bunch. Hey, Brian, next time, rather than 50, I think it ought to be 15, maybe.
I was going to make it 100. And give everyone a year to do it.
We're all going to wait till the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And then your computer doesn't cooperate, so you don't get to put them on.
Okay, this is the last one on mine. So Beth, you must have been the first one to post.
I might, no, I don't know. Because this isn't the first one that I posted either.
Okay.
There was a week that Nate was doing a science summer camp thing at the Carnegie Science Center. And so one of the days I took obviously a lens baby or two, or probably more than two, and wandered around with the list of scavenger hunt stuff in my hand. And so these little buds just looked like a new beginning. So I figured I'd go with that.
Yeah. Nice. Here we go, Candace.
That's a field full of bee balm. My granddaughters were having pictures taken in that field, and I took my camera and took pictures of other things. It's down in Boyce Park, I think.
Okay. On Saturday, I forget how the subject came up. We were talking about taking photos, and I had mentioned that Pat's always my assistant. See this stalk of grass here? That's when I would have asked her to get out of the way. Pull that over, Pat.
Yeah.
You would have had your wife move it out of there. Don't.
Wrapping paper.
It's actually material.
Oh, is it? Okay.
It was at Joanne Fabrics. I was in, I thought I was desperate. I thought I didn't have much time left. I had to hurry up and get something.
This is a nice shot.
I was down at Jeanette. Actually, Beth, I was dropping off our pictures down at You Are Here. And I was sitting in my car and this motorcycle was coming along and I just rolled down my window and took a shot of him. I didn't realize there were flags on the back until I looked at the picture.
Flowers. Oh, the bench in the background. Okay.
Oh, that's in my garden,
Yeah.
my porch. It's a brown thrasher in Georgia.
That's a nice shot.
Mm-hmm.
It's the state bird, in case you're wondering,
Oh.
of Georgia. Yeah.
Do you know what? Candace, I'm sorry. I think all the photos had to be taken in Pennsylvania.
Oh,
You have
I
to read
remember
the fine
reading
print. Read the fine print next time.
Yeah.
Don't tell me that's a Georgia rooster.
No, that's here.
All right. Whoop.
That's Georgia.
This is kind of nice looking.
That's cool.
My son lives on a golf course, so in the morning there's a lot of dew, and
Yeah.
was attracted by those tracks.
Yeah, that makes it nice looking. So is there anybody on the call who has some photos here that we just haven't come across yet?
Most of mine are way at the beginning of everything.
Well, when you say the beginning, I started down at the bottom.
There's more below that.
Oh, there are?
I'm not sure how to get to it,
Okay,
but I know that was
let me
not
move
anywhere near the first one that I posted.
back to, see, there's nothing on my screen that allows me to go further, Beth.
Okay.
Sorry. Well, let's see. Actually, anybody else who we really haven't covered yet?
No.
Well, that being the case, Beth, do you want to switch over and take control and you can do your own profile?
Well, I don't know if you can't get to them on Reddit, then I can't.
You can see, I'm accessing this through the Flare. You can access yours through your profile.
Okay.
Jim, you can actually go ahead and click on her name and it'll take you to her page.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Hold on, Beth. Let me see if I can do that.
And then you'll just have to scroll down.
Oh, by the way, this wasn't for the scavenger hunt, but this is an interesting photo. I don't know if anybody else has seen this before or not.
That's neat. I like it. I like the reflections.
That was down in West Virginia when we went down to the asylum.
Yeah.
And I was going through old stuff and I was like, oh, that was cool. Why didn't I do anything with that before? So I did.
Yeah, that's nice.
Like it.
Okay, scavenger hunt.
The bicycle one is the first one.
I'm sorry?
Or bicycle, Nate on the bike is the first one. Keep
Did
going
I-
down.
oh,
Keep going down.
oh, okay.
You went the wrong way. There you go.
That's the first, okay. Did we talk about this one once before? That kind of looks like
Yeah, I think we
Looks like
did.
a
ET, yeah.
The ET, going home.
That's cool.
We talked about a couple of them, the ones like on this end of it, but the ones that I posted first, we didn't get to.
So you want me to go down, you're saying?
Sure.
Tell me if you see something. I remember
There's your
seeing
flying deer.
No, that's the, yeah, my flying deer.
flying deer. You get
Winter
away.
deer.
I like the drops one.
Oh, this
That's
is
one of my
scary. Okay,
favorites of the bunch.
that
Did
is.
you do this with a lens, baby?
No, believe it or not. But it's
Yeah.
with a nifty 50. So at like F2 maybe, something like that.
That one's luscious.
Nice.
But it was raining and those are rhododendron leaves in our yard. So
You know, well, now that you tell me that, they almost look like they're curled up when they get cold.
I think that before that rain, they might have actually been getting really dry.
Ah, okay.
I'm not sure. Because this summer has gone like either everything is totally soggy or it's dried out.
Yeah.
There's no in between.
Let's do this one. This looks cool.
There's a bird too, but
Mhm.
and it was really there. It wasn't placed. And that is with.
There's also a face.
Oh, is there?
There's
Oh,
the face
yeah.
in the clouds, you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Is
a
this
side view
like
of
the
a face.
hair, the nose, and the chin,
Yes.
beard?
Yep. And the
Oh, I
mouth,
see
the
a
mouth
couple
is
others.
open.
Say again, Marty.
Right there's the mouth. Okay, take your cursor down. Cursor down. Okay, that's hair. Go down, eye, up, mouth. Right there where your cursor is.
Yep.
It's like a profile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That are you? That's the nose for me.
Oh, see, that's a forehead.
Oh, okay.
To me.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I'm starting up here. This
Here.
is a head of hair, and then forehead. No, I'm sorry. That's the nose. There's a little dark eye here, and that's a beard.
I think if we use the other hair, it kind of looks like Donald Trump's hair. I'm sorry, Wes, I had to
Wrong
say.
color.
Hey Beth, what type? Is this like a fisheye?
Yes, but it's a fisheye intended for a full frame, and I was shooting with a crop sensor digital. Because
I love it.
it's a fisheye lens that I've had for like decades that I got to use with my 35mm stuff.
That's interesting looking.
But it's kind of cool because it's not really a fisheye, but it distorts stuff on the crop
Yeah.
sensor.
I like it. Really cool.
Jumping deer we talked about.
We talked about that one before.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I said that's like one of the only pictures I've ever seen Beth take that actually had the waterfall in
Oh,
it.
you know what? I do remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Beth, are there any other ones that I should look for in particular you wanted to talk about?
Well, I really think that my bumper sticker one is funny, but
Is it coming up
it's farther down, other
further
direction.
down?
Yeah. Right there. Because I have been hauling this bumper sticker around. It has never been off the backing paper, but I have been hauling it around since high school.
Oh,
I played French horn.
oh,
I bought this sticker when I was at music camp at Crane Youth Music in Potsdam, New York, in, I don't know, sometime before 1986. I still have this bumper sticker.
finally got to use it.
Well, I don't stick stickers on my car. So
Yeah, I haven't.
that's,
Play the French horn?
Bumper stickers on.
I
on
still
a
have a French horn.
time.
You do?
I still have a horn. It's sitting right underneath the piano.
Do you ever play it?
I've played it occasionally. I wanted to get back into shape and then maybe join the Scottdale concert band.
Yeah.
I just haven't really practiced an awful lot. But I played all the way through college and grad school. So
I found a bumper sticker upstairs that was from when I was going through some papers here a week or so ago from SeaWorld in Ohio.
Any others you'd like to highlight, Beth?
that opposites one is kind of cool. That's a lens baby shot.
Where am I headed? Up or down?
Down a little. One more, right there.
Oh, okay.
Old and new.
Yep.
Yep, nice.
Which is easy to get in Pittsburgh, but. But I like the glowy thing, so.
I've walked up and down that street. I can't tell you how many times.
Okay, any others, Beth?
I think those were probably the coolest ones.
All right.
I do kind of like my self-portrait, but
Where's that?
it was the
Down?
mosaic, that one.
Oh. Oh.
I know where that was taken too.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the first time that I've done that either. I think I have one on film from like, I don't know, one of the trips that we did into the Berg, like before Nate.
Okay, Brian, what would you like to do?
I'll take over now. Thank you, Jim. I appreciate you helping out there.
No problem. Do I have to give up control? Let me stop share.
There you go. All right, guys.
Oh, there's Rex, by the way.
Yes, I was going to say Rex is now here, and it was good to. I let everyone know, Rex, that you were tested negative, so we hope that you're feeling a little bit better and figure out what was going on. But at least that was a negative, so we're happy about that. You're
Very
muted.
much so.
You're muted, You're muted, Rex.
You're still muted.
Still muted, Rex.
Well, okay. Yeah. How's that?
No,
I was going to say me too, and Carol even more.
Yeah.
Good deal. Good deal. Well, all righty. So let's get on to some other stuff that we got going on here. One thing Beth had reminded me of, and I'm going to share that with you here in just a second. share screen. I'm going to do that screen. That button. Turn on. Okay, so you should be able to see the newsletter.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and if we look at October 12, which is our next meeting, that meeting is a flower scavenger hunt. Now, we talked about this before, and we decided that we couldn't actually just give you a scavenger hunt at this point because a lot of flowers have come and gone and all that kind of stuff, and who knows how long they're going to be here. But what we decided to do was to show your 3 best photos of 2020 of flowers. So anything that you've got that you've shot during 2020 of flowers, feel free to post them up. I will put a flare on Reddit for the flower scavenger hunt, and you can put them under that flare. That way we can get to them. And we would appreciate it if you can go ahead and upload all 3 of them together in the little groups like we've seen a couple of them done for the other scavenger hunt. That'll make it easier to go through them and find them and get to see them all. All right, guys?
Yep.
So that's a reminder. Don't forget about that. That's for next meeting, our October meeting.
And didn't we do our group trip to Phipps in January?
I do believe we did.
Yep.
So, and I'm sure some of you have probably photographed some flowers in between there and then. I know I photographed 1 or 2 or 5,000 yesterday.
Yeah, me too.
Melissa and Annie did some flower photography yesterday. So have fun with that. And also, I noticed we mentioned it at the beginning of the meeting there, but don't forget about we are doing, or the WPS is putting on a flower workshop over at Old Bedford, at where are we going, Jim?
Hannistown.
Hannistown, that's it. We're going to go over there and do a little workshop on flower photography.
Who's leading that?
What's that?
Who's leading that?
Yours truly. Jim gets these things going on with Hannistown, and then he ropes me into doing them. So
yeah, okay. Is it intended for clubs or is it intended for the public?
It's intended for the public. It'll be more on the basic side, not too advanced. I'm hoping, depending on who's there and what we have. The last time we had a thing over there, we only had 4 or 5 people show up, and that was all. I think only one of them actually had a camera. Everyone else was cell phone.
Yeah.
So we talked to we're in. We'll kind of scale it based on who's there and what's there as to how deep into things we'll go and how far, but we'll talk about composition and do's and don'ts and stuff like that and lighting a little bit, and then we'll get outside and take some pictures, or we'll be outside and then do everything outside. I don't know yet, but
well, what's funny, Brian, I never really thought about this. I don't think Brian or I had the intention of inviting our club members to it. It was more for Hannistown to attract people who like Hannistown to go to it. But there's no reason that if one of our members wanted to go, there's no reason not to. But it was kind of meant more for the general public, I guess.
Yeah. But you are welcome to come. I mean, I can't answer the question if you have to pay or not. That would be a question we'd have to ask Pam if you're already a member of the WPS. But we're not making any money off of it. They're charging, I think, what is it, $10, Jim?
$10.
Yeah. It's not. None of that will come back to us that I know of. We don't normally negotiate that. We're doing it to help out, kind of thing. So, anyhow, I wanted to bring that up. So, don't forget about that. Don't forget about the October 12th flower scavenger hunt. And we're going to try to figure something out about this Fright Night thing. I've had a bunch of suggestions. I'm looking into some of that stuff to see if it's a possibility for us to go to somewhere that's already doing a Fright Night and take pictures. I don't know if that's possible or not, or feasible with the way the majority of y'all feel about the COVID thing. Because I can guarantee you when you go to these places, those people are probably not going to have masks on, and there's probably going to be a lot of people there. So we're looking into that, and I'm looking into some other ideas as well. So we're trying to figure something out for that. All right, let me get rid of that. You guys should see Reddit.
Yep.
And I cheated while you were talking about the scavenger hunt. I put my 3 pictures up that I have from the scavenger hunt, so I'm showing them to you. There's the U.S. flag. There's my sunset picture. I like this sunset picture. I shot this with a drone.
That's cool.
Cool.
And there's my unusual perspective, shot with a drone. So there was my 3 pictures. All right.
Hey, Brian, just because you have that photo there, that reminds me. Pat and I, a week or so ago, we went up to Loretto to look at the gardens there, but then we stopped at the Ghost Town Trail, and the Eliza furnace there is at Bittendale. And what's interesting about it, I don't think I've ever seen one of the furnaces that still has the heat exchanger pipes up at the top of the furnace.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Huh.
it's different.
That would be cool.
Hey, before I forget, Beth, is it possible for you to get the perspectives out for the show for feathers?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just give me details and I can copy and paste into something.
Yeah, you should. You still have the one from last year?
Yeah.
Okay.
I should, I think.
I think what Annie's getting at is pull that one out and change the dates.
Yeah.
Pretty much it.
Okay, so I wanted to point those out. And I also was looking up for a few things. And one of the things that I wanted to bring to your attention is this place here. This is called Meadowcroft Rock Shelter and Historic Village. They are open.
Ooh.
And it would be a place that I think would be worth visiting. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it would be an interesting place to go photograph. They have some villages around the area, around that area, a historic village, an Indian village, and a trading post where they have people that are dressed in period and doing some stuff like that. And then they have this interior of this rock shelter. This rock shelter dates back, I believe it's 16,000 years of inhabitation of this rock shelter, of humans using it as a shelter that they've been able to prove. And it's actually not that far away. It's a little bit of a drive, but it's not horribly. Here it is on the map. From Greensburg to there is about an hour and 25 minutes.
Not bad.
Over in Washington County, just before you get over into Ohio over there. And it don't look like, as far as travel-wise, it's not bad. It's Route 70 and 79. It's not too bad. I have never been on 844, so I don't know what that road's like. But I was wondering if you all would like to schedule that as a trip. They're open right now. Was it? I think it was. This time of year, they're open Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday from 10 to 4.
Through October.
Looks like a nice place to go. I'd go.
Okay.
I'd go too if I can get off work.
I might go. It'll depend on soccer.
All right. Well, it'll be. I'm getting at a trip as an October trip is what I'm thinking about, because we're halfway through September now, and if I try to put it in now, it'll be kind of a little bit of rush. Maybe the second or third week in October, we can take a ride down there and check it out. And anyhow, I just wanted to gauge some interest and see if there was any interest in going and taking a look at it.
Yeah.
Feel free to look up this website It's actually through the Heinz History Center. But if you just look for the Meadowcroft, you'll find it quite easily. And look it over and see what you think about it. All right, so I wanted to bring those two up. And I also wanted to bring this up. A lot of you guys have been here with me. This is the old Bedford Village. Me and Alan was talking about that the other day and at the picnic. And this weekend coming, the 19th and 20th, is the Wild West weekend. And they are open. They are doing their demonstrations and stuff. So I'm planning, I think at this point, I'm planning on going out on Sunday, the 20th. Saturday, I have to work because I took off this past Saturday, so that ain't going to happen. But I'm planning on going out on the 20th. If anybody wanted to join along or meet up with me out there, anything like that. It is, as you guys I've told you thousands of times, it's a great thing to go see, and it's a lot of fun, and it's a great photography opportunity. As long as the weather cooperates, I plan on going on the 20th. So just wanted to bring that up. And if anyone wants to go, give me a holler, let me know.
Brian, a lot of venues like this, because of COVID, are requiring advanced reservations to kind of limit participation. Do you know if anything like that's in effect here?
Not that I can tell from their website. They don't have anything on there about that. Go back to their homepage here, maybe.
What's that block there? Is there any details in that?
What's that?
That block that you're currently on, COVID-19 announcements. What's the fine print?
We're adjusting our hours, and we only be open Thursdays through Sunday. Similar to fall hours, we ask that guests cover their nose and mouth with a face mask before entering our visitor center or village buildings. Masks may be removed if you choose to bring a picnic lunch to eat. Please practice social distancing while visiting. Number of guests in the visitor center to 25, which if anyone's been in the visitor center, there's not really much in there anyhow. Number of guests in each historic building, one family at a time. They put up some plexiglass barriers, and restrooms will be limited to one guest at a time. Okay. Parents can go in with their kids, yada, yada, yada.
That where we met to do the covered bridge tour?
Yes, that is where we met to do the covered bridge tour.
The bathrooms aren't big enough to have more than one or two people in them anyway.
Yeah. So really, I mean, most of this, other than needing to put a mask on when you go inside the buildings, which for the most part, the Western thing, you don't go inside buildings anyhow. Mm-mm. You're pretty much outdoors. And so anyhow, I don't see anything else anywhere on their website about limiting anything or needing to do reservations or anything like that. And from what I've heard from the other people that were at the event September 5th and 6th, there was a lot of people there and they enjoyed it and everything was good. So anyhow, I'm planning on going on the 20th. So as of right now, as of the 14th at 8:30, I'm planning on going on the 20th. We'll put it that way. So I'll be watching the weather and stuff like that. If there's anyone that's interested in going, just let me know and you're welcome to come along or meet me there, or I'll meet you there, that kind of thing.
Sounds good.
All right. Okay. So those are the things I wanted to bring up. All right. So tonight was supposed to be about low key and high key photography. So I got a couple of videos we're going to watch. I don't do a lot of high key photography. Rex, I know, probably has in the past. And I shouldn't say probably. I know Rex has in the past because I've seen some of his high key photography pictures. Yeah. But I got two videos, both actually, as I was going through finding videos, they both ended up being from the same place or the same guy. So we'll see, take a look at these real quick, and we'll talk a little bit about, these talk a little bit about processing as well, which was part of the deal for tonight. So we'll get a little information from the videos, and then maybe we'll kind of discuss the low and high key photography a little bit afterwards, and that should finish our night. Okay.
Sounds good.
You guys want to do high key or low key first? You pick.
Low key.
Low key. Low key it is. All right, low key photography. And it's just a short video. It's only 7 minutes long. It's got 1.92 thousand likes to it. So I have YouTube stuff that you guys probably don't see or wouldn't see on your YouTube, but I have whatever. Anyhow, let's start the video and I'll shut up.
Subject is low-key photography. The question is, why would you want to deliberately underexpose an image? Well, it could be for a few different reasons. Maybe you want to add a little bit more drama to a shot, or maybe it's about concealing to add mystery. Lots of different reasons why you might want to do low-key photography. So today, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to show you some examples of low-key photography and how you can make those images. Often low-key photography is associated with studio work, with portraiture, that kind of thing. But today we're going to be showing a little bit of that, but also how it can be used for other subjects as well. As usual, questions and comments can be addressed down below. Let's get started.
First up, this is really simple because it was an overcast day, which is perfect for this kind of thing. So I exposed for this area in here, and then the rest went darker, but not quite dark enough. So then you set your camera's exposure compensation. On this one, I set it down another -2 stops, and it came out really well. Of course, after you've done this, if it's not perfect, you can always perfect it a little bit in post-processing, bring it into Lightroom or something else that you may have, and just adjust it that way a little bit. But overcast is really easy, makes it really easy for you when you're doing this kind of photography. Same thing here. I exposed for this up here, and everything else went really dark as I set an exposure compensation to around -1 or -2. Now it gets a little more difficult because now it's sunny outside. And when it's sunny, it makes there's so much more difference between what's light and what's dark. So even if you expose, say, -3, not going to work because everything's just going to go muddy and it's not going to look very good. It's going to go too dark. So what I did here was I used flash, but that's also a problem because now your flash, which may go to 1/125 or 1/250 of a second, it may not be enough. So you have to set your flash to high speed sync in the sunshine. It really does help. So what you would do here typically, and what I did, was I exposed for the flower in the sunshine. But remember, all of this in back here, all the leaves and everything, most of those were in sunshine too. So just setting it to -3 exposure compensation or even -5 might not be enough. So what I did was I exposed for the flower in the sunshine. I then set to an exposure compensation of around -5. But now, of course, my flash can't handle it because I need a faster shutter speed, typically around 1/1000th, maybe even 1/2000th of a second. So now you have to set your flash to high speed sync. And when you do that, then you can shoot at that kind of a shutter speed. And I think this time it was about 1/500th or 1/1000th of a second. And you have your exposure compensation on your camera down to whatever you want, -3, -4, -5, whatever it is. And then the flash works on high speed sync and you get something like this, which is a little bit different. It almost looks like it was shot at night. Queen Anne's lace, they look like they're floating in the dark. Sunny day, exposed for the flower, exposure compensation on manual, shooting manual mode. And by the way, it was on manual mode for this image as well. On manual mode, about -3, -4. exposure comp. Sunny day. This is an umbrella, okay, an outdoor umbrella. And I wanted it to go black in the shadows. And basically what you have is an abstract image of 3 lines. That's it. Low-key photography. Okay, let's go into the studio. Now, who is this serious guy anyway, looking back at you? Well, of course, it's yours truly. But why I'm showing you this, aside from the fact that low-key photography is extremely popular in studio photography, portrait photography, and for good reason, it can really add drama and mystery to your image. This was taken in such a simple way, so I'm showing you this because if you don't have a big studio setup, that's okay. You can still do effective low-key photography. It's really simple. Look at this. Nothing going on here. A background, a blue wall. There's this black piece of velvet. I've got a flash here, and I've got a towel. Now, the flash I held further away than what you see here, but when I took my first shot, it was too bright. So I just draped the towel over the flash, and that was it. The flash wasn't even connected to the camera. I just popped the test button. That was it. And I came up with this. An extremely simple way to do low-key photography. If you're a dedicated studio photographer, you do it all the time. Of course, you're going to spend the money for expensive equipment. But personally, I don't do a lot of this kind of work, so I don't feel like spending my money on a big setup. So here you have it. Really simple, and you get some pretty dramatic results. Low-key photography, easy enough to show up what's going on inside here if I wanted to, but I didn't. I just wanted you to concentrate on one thing, these clothes in the sunshine. Low-key photography. Turn to black and white. The background was actually a very dark green after I underexposed the whole image. I exposed for these seeds here, driving the image darker, and then I used exposure compensation down to about -2, turned it to black and white, and you come up with something like this. And these leaves coming out of the dark into the sunshine. So as you can see, there are lots of different options for low-key photography, and there is no proper exposure. It just depends on what you're trying to achieve as a photographer. Until next time, I'm Ray Scott reminding you it's not what you see, it's how you see it. And I'll see you soon.
All right, guys, what do you think of that?
Nice. Interesting.
Cool.
Clever.
We were doing some of that yesterday.
We were. So that's what I wanted to bring up. Yesterday, Annie, Melissa, and myself were out in Ohio. And we, of course, ended up at the Mill Creek Park, and we were taking pictures of flowers. And we were getting the black backgrounds without the use of flash. And Melissa was doing some really cool ones, and I went over and looked at what she was doing, and I made a suggestion to her. What was it, Melissa, that I suggested you try?
Spot metering.
And she already forgot.
I already forgot.
So I told her to spot meter and then underexpose the picture.
Oh, yeah, but I was already underexposing.
Yeah, you were already doing that. So I told you to do that, and I told Annie to do the same thing. And by spot metering on the highlight and then underexposing the picture, you're really able to just black out your backgrounds quite easily. And when I say underexpose the picture, I was only underexposing 2/3 of a stop to maybe 1 stop for most of the flowers. And we got some really interesting finished products in a low-key idea of taking flower pictures. Now, when you start doing some research on low-key and high-key, everything that I researched was portrait, 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 portrait. And and that's the reason I used this guy, because he wasn't all about portraits in low key. He was about other things that we do. And since, well, Margie's not on here, but she screams at me every time I say the word portrait. I thought, or take a picture of a person. So I said, well, let's try to find something else. And I thought that was pretty good. It was a real basic explanation, but really it is about exposing for a certain area and then underexposing that picture to get the other stuff to go dark, and you get into that low key photography quite easily. And a lot of it will lend itself to being turned into really cool black and white pictures. And I know Dennis loves that part. So, and Beth. So some suggestions, some tips. That's how I do the low key. I'm not big on high key, so we're going to watch that next. But the low key I do a lot of. I love to get stuff that's darker and moody and stuff like that. And that's how I do it. It's spot metering, underexposing, and just seeing what I get. And I fool around with that underexposure anywhere. Said sometimes it's 1/3, 2/3. He was talking 2 and 3 stops. I don't usually go that far, but you can. I mean, there's no reason why you can't. But I find that for me, usually 2/3, maybe a stop is about as much as I need to go underexposed.
Brian, this is Jim. I got a question on that. So I understand the principle, I guess. When you spot meter, or let's say in this case you're taking the flower photo, you spot meter on the flower. When you dial in your negative exposure compensation, that highlighted flower itself will be underexposed as well, relatively speaking, unless you would use the flash. So are you doing your technique with a flash as well?
No, I haven't carried a flash with me for a year, I bet.
None of us had a flash yesterday.
Okay.
Nope.
I mean, we had flashes, but we didn't have them at the flower place.
Okay.
So
So
you set the exposure for your bright area, for your flower. And then you reduce the exposure by 2 or 3 stops?
Yeah.
And why isn't the bright spot underexposed?
Well, my reduction of the exposure was only 2/3 of a stop, not 2 to 3 stops.
Yeah.
Right.
We didn't get down that far.
Small amount of underexposure, and looking at the direction of light and stuff like that, and the distance between your flower and your background, you can get that background to turn that black real easy like that.
Yeah, but how do you keep the flower bright?
Well, I don't. Not 100% bright. I want it to be, for me personally, I'm trying to make it a little bit on the darker side as well.
So you want the flower underexposed?
A little bit, yes. Not extremely underexposed, but yes.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, we were going for a moody look on a particular rosebud.
Yeah, all 3 of us were taking the same shot of the same rose and trying for basically the same look. So I think we've succeeded pretty well. Each one of us did pretty well with it.
Yeah.
Let me ask this question. With an electric viewfinder, you should be able to see the contrast, right? The black background and the brightness of your subject. Is that true?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit easier than it may seem with an electronic viewfinder.
Right.
It's really not a tough.
It was, if I can get it, it was really easy.
It's really not a tough technique to do these black backgrounds and moody photos. It's not hard at all, actually. It's just a matter of practicing a little bit with it.
Yeah. Well, maybe some of those on Wednesday.
Yeah, I didn't upload any of mine yet. I was wondering if you did.
I actually just connected my card to my computer. I'm going to, while this next video is playing, I'm going to pull some of them off the card just to give you a quick view of them.
I was gonna say, I uploaded all of mine last night. I haven't done anything with them, but I did upload mine too.
Yeah.
In fact, my card's still in my computer.
So,
Pull it up.
Yeah, I'll pull a couple of them off just so you can get an idea of what it was that I was looking at. These will be, very rarely do I ever show you something that hasn't been at least looked at in Lightroom and touched. So these will be 100% raw, not looked at. So we'll see how they turned out, guys. All right, so let's take a look at the same gentleman. He's going to talk to us about high key photography, and we'll watch his video and then we'll discuss again. All right. I don't know why YouTube does that. When you switch from one tab to the other, it keeps the same unless you do what I just did. All right, so let's go ahead and do this and start.
So as high key would suggest, we're going to be overexposing everything to a certain extent. And I'm going to take you through at least one particular step, one particular way that I'm going to be treating these flowers to create something hopefully a little bit special. And as always, our final goal is to always come up with something that we think is suitable for printing and for framing and for hanging on your wall. Now, we may not always do that, but that's the goal. All right, let's take a look at the setup to get us started. Here's the basic setup. I've even got my camera on a bit of an angle as I was trying to change the position of the flowers compositionally, but that's just something that I was trying at that particular time. Okay, notice the white background. That's what I wanted. I just wanted it to be really, really clean, and because I wanted it to be clean, I've actually got lights on the white sheet to give it a nice even white look. I've also got the flowers lit on either side. I've got 2 lights on the flowers. But really, a very important point for high key photography is that you want to overexpose, right? So every shot I took was either 2 or 3 stops overexposed. I even tried more than that, but I found it was just a little bit too much. I tried less, of course, but I found 2 to 3 stops overexposed really, really worked well for what I was looking for. You may be trying different things as well, but the idea is to make everything just a little bit lighter than what we would call a normal exposure. All right? So here it is, 2 flowers exposed pretty much the way you would for a quote-unquote normal exposure. So the flowers, you can see the detail in the flowers and so on and so forth. But how about if you overexpose it by 2 or 3 stops? High-key photography, you get something like this. Now, what I've done to this as well in Lightroom is I've added a bit of a glow by moving the clarity slider to the left. All right, just that's the effect that I wanted. I wanted something that was a little bit more ethereal, if you know what I mean. So I added a glow. But you can see the high key effect as everything gets very, very white, or much whiter than it was, a little bit more washed out. It's the effect I was looking for. How about this one? You move in a little bit closer, and now I've given it a treatment. I've run it through a program, Topaz Labs, and I've added a little bit of an edge to the edges, if you can see that, and it looks kind of painterly, and it's something that I was looking for. But let's go back to that original image for this effect. All right, more of the edges. It's even a little bit more washed out in terms of the light tones are even brighter, but you still have some color. Now I'm going to show you right now how I got to this. All right, so this is what it looks like in Photoshop. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to duplicate the background layer. All right, Command J for that. And the reason why we're doing that is because we're going to be going into a software that is destructive and does not make its own layer automatically. So you make the layer for it, and we're going to go into Topaz. So we'll go to Filter up at the top at the menu bar, and we'll go down to Topaz Labs, because that's what we're going to be using today, Topaz Labs. And we'll go over to Simplify in the Topaz Studio setup. All right, so here we are in the Topaz Studio setup. And we see on the left-hand side, we have different options that we can use, different presets that we can use to change this image into anything you want. You can do this and change it into something that is black and white. You can do black line only
kind of thing. Anyway, the choice is totally up to you. And the nice thing about this is that you can combine different effects too. Now, this is not a topaz tutorial. I'm just showing you one of many ways to get to something that you may like. In this particular case, what I'm using is something called Cartoon My Critter, and it's this one right here. And for me, I just really liked this effect. It's something that I wanted, that I was looking for. You may be looking for something completely different than that. Now, if we go over to the right-hand side, you can see that there are different adjustments here as well. And just to work really, really, really quickly through this, we'll drop down the edges adjustment. And you can see it's set at 79. Now, you can change that to anything you want. But these are settings that I like, that I used. And they're all in there. You can simplify the edge. You can change the thickness. And in fact, I think I'm going to here. Just change it a little bit. See what happens as it renders. Yeah, I like something like that. Just changed very, very subtly there. And the edge resolution, maybe bring that down just a little bit. See the subtle change there? Just a little bit more maybe. Okay, now for my taste, I like that. So I hit OK. And that brings us back into Photoshop, where we have the topaz layer here, and you can rename that if you want. And that's the original background layer, topaz, and that's the change. Subtle, but it's what I wanted. Now, you can also make other adjustments, and I'm going to do one more thing here because I'm going to change the blend mode, and you can see the blend modes here. I'm going to change it to multiply. All right? Now, that's a big difference. That's not bad. I'm going to change it to multiply right now. A little bit dark for my taste. I can back it off a bit in terms of the opacity so that it's not entirely. What about 63%? Something like that. Let's take a look at before and after. Oh, you can do that. Or you can just leave it on normal. Actually, you know something? In this particular case, I think I like normal better. So that's the way I'm going to leave it. High key flowers, but with a different kind of treatment. And of course, you can make millions of different types of treatments. It's up to you. It's always great to have richly colored flowers, but sometimes a different treatment is called for, and that's what we tried to do today. I hope you give it a shot, and I hope it works out for you. Until next time, I'm Ray Scott, reminding you it's not what you see, it's how you see it.
Okay, guys. What do you think of that?
Interesting.
Got a little topaz information there too. Comments, questions?
Yeah, what is the price of a topaz, that level of topaz?
Well, that was Topaz Studio.
Mhm. I mean, I can look it up, but I was just wondering if you already have it up there. It's 100 looked like something like that.
Well, you got to find the studio because Topaz is broken down into a lot of little things. So Sharpen is $80.
Uh-huh.
Topaz.
80. Mhm.
Mask AI, Adjust AI, Denoise AI, those are all $80 a piece. Well, Mask is $100, $100.
Aren't there a couple bundles?
They do have some bundles, and they put stuff on sale a lot, quite often that I see. Topaz Studio, buy now for $100.
Yeah.
I've never used Topaz, never had it. One of our former members, Kern, is big into Topaz. He loves Topaz and uses it for everything. But I've never used it. I've never paid for it, so I'm not familiar with what it does and what it can and can't do. But I see it quite often advertised, and I hear it a lot in videos saying that they're using it. So that answer your question there, Rex?
Yeah, I've struggled a lot with the filters that come with Photoshop, trying to use them on flowers, and I never really get that kind of effect that he's showing us there. That's why I was wondering about it. I like what I do. I mean, I produce some images that I'm satisfied with, but what he's doing there, that sort of bright watercolor effect. Actually, when he finished with it, it didn't look as high key as I thought it might look, but then that's just on this screen. But I do like the effect that it produces. It's just that I would, like he was saying, everyone has their own taste. I would have actually had it brighter than that. So it's attractive.
Normally you can try these tools. You can get a short license that allows you to try them.
Mm-hmm.
You certainly can with Nick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Nick Software does that, and I think they've got a sale going on right now for their whole set, if I remember correctly. Or I think it was relatively recent that I seen that.
Does the Nick that we have loaded in, I think some time ago we loaded Nick into our Photoshop system, so if we haven't taken it out, it should still be there, right?
It would still be there. They're up to what is it, the third version now, Dennis?
I think the third version, they want you to upgrade and pay, which I won't do until I figure out some reason to do it.
Yeah.
Nick Collection 3 by DxO. Well, DxO bought them and then they started charging for it. But if we were to just go buy it, it's $50 off. It's $100. And that's their whole collection that way. So that's I forget what all's in there.
Nick Silver Effects.
Yeah, Silver Effects Pro is the one I use. I have some of them other ones, but Silver Effects is the one I like the best. But they do have a bunch of other stuff in here. Anyhow. All right. So I said I was going to show you a couple pictures that I took. These have not been. Oh, there's what's in the kit.
Yeah.
Color Effects Pro, Visa, Silver Effects Pro, Perspective Effects, and Define, and Sharpen Pro, Analog Effects, HDR Effects Pro, and then we're back to Color Effects. So that was what's in there. It's quite a few things. I do use HDR effects from time to time. They're pretty good. All right, so back to the pictures. Let me find them. I don't know what I did with them. You guys see a flower now?
Yep.
Yeah.
So again, this has not been touched. So I'm going to darken the background up a little bit, but the idea, this was, I exposed for this spot right here. That was what I felt was my highlight there. And underexposed it 2/3 of a stop. I don't think I did this. I did this manually, so it's not going to show.
Is this a before or after?
This is the original picture out of the camera.
Yeah. Okay.
Nothing done to it. And we're looking at him in Bridge right now because I haven't even put him in Lightroom to start on him. So.
Sure. Nice.
70mm lens. And it looks like I shot it at 3.2. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know how to use Bridge. I never use it.
No.
No, I shot it at 4.5 at 1/800th of a second, ISO 200 at a 0.67 underexposed on that. All right, let's see what else I got here. A little closer, same picture. This is another flower. Again, spot metered here and then underexposed so that this would get darker back here. And I'll adjust and make these much darker in the background and go from there. Exposure in here, 200 ISO, 2/1000ths of a second, minus 2/3 of a stop is what I shot at. So I figured that's what it was. That's where I was shooting at. This was minus 1/3 of a stop. And I'll take all the outside edge of that and just make it black.
So Brian, do you normally put your photos in Bridge first?
No, not at all.
No.
I don't use Bridge for anything other than what we're doing it right now.
Okay.
And yeah, normally I would have put these in Photoshop or in Lightroom, and then we'd have looked at them there. But I figured I didn't have the time to make all my files and get them imported there, so I figured I'd just show them to you here. And I shot this one just for the idea of a dying flower with the petals on the ground kind of thing. And we shot this. We don't know what this is.
It's nice though.
It's cool.
I was looking at that thinking that would make a good black and white.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then I lit him up a little. Well, this one here is lit with a flashlight a little bit to put some different texture in there. Because I always carry a flashlight. And this was well, that's probably going to be a black and white picture of some sort too. I thought that would be.
Elephant ear.
Yeah. This one was overexposed.
Brian, go back to that other flower.
That one or yeah, that one?
No, one before. That one. Hold on. I'll tell you what it is.
Oh, she's using Google Flowers to find out what it is.
Are you using iNaturalist?
No. It is yep. I'll tell you in a minute. Keep going.
Never heard of a yup.
Yep. Yeah, I never heard of a yup. I use it all the time though. This I shot as just for the texture.
That's great.
I'll turn that to black and white. This was Melissa was shooting this picture, and then Annie was shooting. Actually, we were all shooting the same flower at the exact same time.
Yeah, that was fun.
With elbows in each other's ears.
Yeah.
I like that.
What's your lens here?
70 millimeter macro. It's a Sigma lens.
Yeah, okay.
I like that flower. I like the purple.
You want a tripod?
No, these are handheld. 200 ISO at 400th of a second at f8.
Yeah, everything we shot yesterday, all three of us, none of us took tripod in for the flowers.
Not for the flowers, at least, yeah. And I did that at 1/3 of a stop under on that one. And then I did that one.
That purple middle.
Yeah. And I do that was my last picture of the day. That's a video.
That flower was, the flower's called an angel's trumpet.
An angel's trumpet.
Yep.
Here's the rabbit we found.
Funny. There's one that had 3 bees on it.
Yeah, that one's got 3 bees on it at the same time. Oh crap, now it's opening Photoshop up. I double clicked on the flower and it went to Photoshop. Now it's asking me to do all kind of stuff.
Version of Photoshop.
Yeah, let me get rid of that. Opening camera roll. It's doing all kind of stuff. Okay, don't double click on the flowers, Wall. Anyhow, that one had 3 bees on it at the same time, which is pretty cool, I thought. You don't get to see that too often. And of course, I took 10,000 of those. Oh, wait, where's my, here's the, what is this? Here we go.
Oh, you got it flying.
Yeah, does anybody know how to make these like a full screen picture in Bridge?
Yeah, Annie scared it.
Try F.
The river from it, but okay.
Try F.
That didn't work.
No.
Nope. That's eerie.
Yeah, that's eerie. Obviously, guys, I don't use Bridge too often.
Erie, McConnell's Mills.
You're in the lower right-hand corner underneath that grid. You'll also see there's a grid, then there's a less grid, and as you go to the right, see down there, it goes less and less. And you can try one. No, keep going.
Nice try, Max.
Yeah. Pull it all the way up.
What if you undo that? Is that thumbnails there? Is that check mark by that if you undo
The
that?
last one to the right.
It went to a flower now. It changes pictures. I obviously I don't use this Bridge too often. Those look like slightly bigger pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Anyhow, I got the heron flying, and I think from looking at the picture on the back of the camera, he's in pretty good focus. So we'll see when I get it into a program I understand how to use. I thought part of this was being able to like look at your pictures, but I thought that's what Bridge was about. So
yeah, well, this is great.
It is. It is. We used it at school and we could do it one by one.
yeah, I just don't know how to use it. Obviously.
You're all blurry and I can't see your words on your screen. So.
Nice reflection on some of those.
Yeah, that's and
Cool.
like I said, he was sitting quite nicely here. There you see.
Yeah.
And that was with a the 400 at 400, I believe. No, 370. I didn't have it all along. So, and then Annie got too close and he got scared and flew away. So I got some shots of him as he was flying.
It's Annie's fault.
Usually is, no matter what.
On the lower right, that one with the wings down is neat.
Yeah.
This one here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that one. That one and this one here.
Yeah.
With the complete bend in the wings, I was pretty happy with.
That one with the bend in his wings, actually, when he zoomed in on the back of his camera, you can even see his head underneath the one wing.
Yeah.
So it's really the perfect timing.
So we'll get I'll get them in Lightroom. Get them up. Here's one here. You can see if you look just right there where my arrow is, you can see his head there.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll get them up in Lightroom and get them worked on, and then I'll post them up so people can see. I don't like this program, but anyhow, I wanted to show you those couple things, and I'll get those flower pictures finished, and you can take a look at them and see what my idea was for those flowers. I like these two guys together with the bee on it.
Yeah.
I wish I could have got a bee on each flower at the same time. That would have worked out better. But all right, guys, let me get rid of bridge here. And I think that was all I wanted to show on there. Yes.
Yeah.
It was. All right. Stop.
Great.
There we go. All right.
So we're gonna meet on Wednesday.
We will be meeting on Wednesday. I have, as of right now, I have nothing planned, and I hope I have no headaches this weekend, sir.
Yeah. But maybe we can get Annie and Marty to show photos from the Sunday outing.
Well, Annie won't be able to show anything Wednesday night except for how to close a store.
Yeah.
Okay. Melissa, will you be available on Sunday or Wednesday?
Melissa, sorry, not Marty.
I should be.
Okay. Well, if you have some pictures available that you would like to show, would you like to show them on Wednesday?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Rex,
I can try.
would you happen to ask
try to get
Robbie
it
about doing
done.
a program on mirrorless?
I did not forget to do that, but Robbie wasn't there on Sunday.
Okay.
He had some other people, so I messaged him this afternoon. I haven't heard back from him yet, but I did send him a message to ask him about that.
That's great.
I'm also going to send a message to Heather Laughlin or Laughlin or whatever her name is. She is a wedding photographer, business photographer, teacher. She's pretty good. I like her a lot. I'm going to see if I can get her to talk to us a little bit about the business of photography.
Yeah, it'd be great.
Does a business boot camp at her house. Not cheap, but everyone that I know of that has taken it has basically afterwards been able to take their photography to a level where they've quit their job and they do photography for a living.
Wow.
So she's pretty good and she knows what she's talking about. So I'm going to see if I can get her to give us kind of a little overview one night on a Zoom meeting, since she lives a little bit further away, and I've asked her to come up and talk to us a couple times, and she's always agreed, but something would happen or the weather would be bad in the wintertime when she could come and stuff like that. So maybe I can get her to do a Zoom meeting since you don't have to leave the house. So I'm working on a couple things as far as getting a couple speakers put together for us a little bit here too.
My God, she's hoarding all three of them.
Okay.
Sorry. I thought I was on mute.
Yeah.
So I actually kind of think that the Zoom meetings might be beneficial to us for getting speakers.
I agree.
Because people don't have to leave their house. They can do it at home. So I'm going to check into a few speakers and see if we can't get a few people to say a few words. And Jim, we did confirm that we're having that speaker on Zoom, or I forget what we did with that.
Yeah, talked to Ann and she's willing to do it. It's our November meeting.
So our November meeting. November. Yeah, it was scheduled for November. So our November meeting will be the Zoom meeting with Ann from the museum.
Yeah. And her presentation is to discuss her experience as a art exhibition jurist, and in particular relative to photography, what she looks at for selecting or rejecting photographs for juried exhibits.
Okay, that should be a pretty good one. For those meetings, we'll plan on getting the speaker to speak right away. That way, if they want to take off after they're done, and then we'll do our business part or anything that we need to talk about afterwards after that.
That's a good idea.
Brian, the other thing you could do is invite other local clubs, like Somerset. And it's going to be between 7 and 8, and you're done.
Yeah, we can do that. I have invited several people from Somerset on more than one occasion to join our meetings, but they don't seem to. But yeah, we definitely can.
On Zoom, you don't have to drive anywhere.
Yeah. I will. Yeah, we can do that. That's not a problem.
Yeah. So Melissa's in a good shadow right here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Making a nice photo.
While you guys were wrapping it up, I looked up Bridge and lynda.com, and she has a video on how to see full frame in
Okay.
Bridge, and I'll put it up on Reddit. Okay, guys?
I'll have to look at that because
That's
that's basically all I use Bridge for, is to look at a picture and then I decide what I want to do with it at that point. But
I think what she actually did is she basically just zoomed in on it. You just take the image you're at and zoom it. But I'll put the video up because I didn't have a chance to really run the whole thing because I was trying to listen to you all.
okay,
So
thanks.
I'll put it up there. So I'll see you guys. I'm signing off.
All right, thanks, Rex. Good night.
Good night, Rex.
Good night, Rex.
Good picnic on Saturday.
Yes, it was. It was very nice.
Yes, yes.
The weather was great.
Yeah.
Weather was good. We had a nice turnout. I was very impressed with that. We had a good turnout. Everyone was good. It was interesting. And Beth, I apologize for the, I'm sure that the meeting minutes tonight weren't easy to take because I went back and forth from one place to another pretty quickly. So
That's all right. My meeting minutes are kind of like hieroglyphics anyway. So
okay. The good news is I will post the meeting after we're done tonight. I'll get it posted to our YouTube channel and you can rewatch it if you need to.
Okay, all that, and I am heading off as well.
All right.
Yep.
Thank you, Melissa.
I got it.
Have a good night.
You too.
Nate's bed. I might not be there Wednesday
Okay.
or here. He's got soccer practice now. This soccer starts this week, so.
All right. Guys, you know I do post these videos on our YouTube channel, and there's a link on Reddit on the right side of the page to YouTube channel. So all of our meetings have been, with the exception of, I think, 2. One I couldn't post because Annie said some stuff that I wasn't allowed to post. Don't repeat it, because I don't want to have to edit this one. And the other one I couldn't post because my internet went down halfway through the meeting and I had some issues and I wasn't able to get a complete recording of it, so it didn't get posted. But all of the other ones have been posted. I got caught up the other day. I put up 5 or 6 meetings, so they're all up now, with the exception of tonight's meeting. That'll go up either later tonight or tomorrow sometime. I'll get it posted. But so you're always welcome to, if you miss something or if you just want to see some part of the meeting or a tutorial, feel free to go jump on them. Look in the description. Those descriptions will tell you what's in that meeting to some extent. I can't, of course, can't write a description to tell you what everything we said because we bounce around a lot. But at least the main part of the meeting will be in that description. So you can look at it and go, oh, I want to go look at that video. So anyhow, I think is all I have for tonight. If anyone else has anything, otherwise we can call it an evening.
All right.
All right. Thanks.
Good night, everyone.
Thanks, Brian.
Night.
Thank
Thanks.
you guys. We appreciate it.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night.